Enough is enough. Is it time to blow up the Chicago Bulls? We got to talk about it. What is going on, y'all? Faiz Sports all back at it with another video talking, of course, I'm NBA. And here to talk about the Chicago Bulls and talking about them and whether or not it's time to blow up this team and just scrap it after a embarrassing loss to the Charlotte Hornets, a double-digit loss to the Hornets. We got to talk about this. All right. The Bulls are 22-26 on the year, 10th place in the Eastern Conference. And to answer my own question, I will just say the answer is a resounding yes. They need to blow this team up. I've had it. I'm sorry. Like, there was a period of time where I kept wanting to wait to see if maybe they could turn the season around and is there enough of a sample size? But nope. No more waiting. It's officially time. There are losses that you have during a long season where you look at that loss and you say, okay, yeah, that's it. This is it. Like, that's the team. I don't care that they've beaten the Bucks twice and the Celtics twice and they've been able to do this against the good teams. If you cannot beat the teams you are supposed to, you will never reach your potential. And that is the problem with this year's Chicago Bulls team. Let me just tell you, since the season started, here are the losses that they've had against teams that they theoretically should have beaten. Okay? They lost to the Hornets. They lost to the Pacers. They lost to the Thunder twice. They lost to the Wizards twice. They lost to the Rockets. They lost to the Magic. And they lost to the Spurs. Folks, these are some of the worst teams in basketball. You should never lose to the Spurs. They've got a G League team out there. Same thing with the Rockets. And just the fact that this is what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games. 9 games that if you add to the win column, take away from the loss column, you're one of the top 4 teams, top 5 teams in the East. I'm sorry, but I'm done with the Chicago Bulls team. Folks, when Mason freaking Plumlee is hitting a left-handed, one-handed mid-range jump shot to ice the game, it's time to reevaluate your team. It's time to reevaluate your team, and I'm sorry, this team is headed fast on a path to nowhere. Nowhere. This team has no upside. If they even somehow sneak into the play-in tournament and somehow get into the playoffs, they're a first-round exit written all over them. It is time to blow this team up. It just doesn't work. The stars that they have aren't good enough to be the superstars in this league, in DeMar and Zach and Vooch, and they don't have the defense necessary to be a good team. Vooch is a turnstile. We know we needed to address the interior defense in the offseason, and AK and Mark Eversley never did it. And I'm sorry, we got to talk about putting the blame on these guys, right? Because the players, obviously contractually, they're on the team. It is the GM and the VP of basketball operations' job to go ahead and figure out, hey, is this the right roster for us? Because what is this roster? What is the point of being mediocre? I would rather be the Spurs right now or the Rockets right now and have a chance at least at a game-changing player like Victor Wembanyama. I'd rather have that than be this. 10th in the East? Headed nowhere? No, I'm sorry. AK needs to look at himself in the mirror. Mark Eversley at least needs to look at himself in the mirror and say, what are we doing here? Again, this roster is just a poorly constructed roster. And don't give me, hey, with Lonzo, we were, first in the East last season. Lonzo's not coming back. And even if he does, who knows if he's the same player. Let's stop doing what ifs and address what we have on the court. Billy Donovan isn't getting the job done. The players aren't getting the job done. And the GM and the VP, they did not get the job done. So now with the trade deadline approaching, it's time to make a move and sell off the team. I don't care what you have to do. This iteration of the Bulls is not going anywhere. I thought I was overreacting, but I really don't think I am. I told you the losses here. If you consistently lose to the bad teams, you will never be a tough playoff team. You'll never be a good team. You'll never be the team that can reach its full potential because you can't even beat the bad teams. Forget mediocre. So to me, as far as what the Bulls need to do, I probably need a separate video for that. I just wanted to come on and rant about the current situation. But yeah, man, Vooch is a problem. Obviously, he doesn't look like the same player. So inconsistent lately, and just gets beaten up on the inside. We're literally a revolving door to the basket when he's out there. And Andre Drummond was a bad pickup, and Zach doesn't look like the same player. And that max extension looks like an issue. And DeMar's consistent, but he's a second-tier all-star. He's not even a superstar. So to me, this roster is just broken. It's broken. And the sooner we realize it, the better off we'll be. We're just at a point now where it's like, let's just get the rebuild going, because we just know this is not going to work. It's not going to work. Like, really, truly look at yourself. Even if you're the biggest Bulls fan in the world, and I'm a huge Bulls fan, just think about it. Can this Bulls team win a championship? Like, I would laugh, honestly, because there's no way. They're not beating Milwaukee. They're not beating Boston. They're not beating any of the top teams in the West. Like, they're just not. I'm sorry, unless everybody, all the superstars on those teams gets hurt, it's not happening. So let's just take the Band-Aid off, right? Let's just fix the actual wound. Let's go ahead and break the team, and let's rebuild. I know it's hard. I know it's going to suck, but it's better for the long haul. Because right now, what we're seeing is a team that has no identity, that doesn't play for their coach, doesn't play hard, doesn't play with any heart, and just is not getting the job done. End of story, period. Let me know what you guys think, man. Leave a comment down below. Should the Chicago Bulls break up the team? Should the Chicago Bulls team be blown up? I believe so, as always.